Hi there. Let's take a look at Anytype's Habit Tracker Experience. Right now I have Anytype open and I'm going to head over to the bottom right where there's a question mark. This is your help menu, and select Any Experience Gallery. This will open up in a new browser and you can select from a variety of options that are here. Since it is the new year, I want to try out the Habit Tracker Experience. So I'm going to select Open an App, and it will open up a pop-up window. I'm going to just maximize this into full screen so we can see it better. Now the Install button has a drop-down which allows you to choose from installing in your current space, or you can create a brand new space, which is what I recommend only because it's easier to delete something if it doesn't really work for you. So I like to try it out first before I put it in the space that I'm actually using for everything else. So I'm going to select Create New Space, and it installed. You can either go down here or you can select from your spaces here in the menu. So you can see now there's a habit tracker as well as my original space. All right, so it looks like there is a set here called Habit Tracker. Let's open that up. And the set has an object type called habit. And then it has an example here, so let's take a look at this. So if you're brand new to Anytype, a set is basically like a filter of a specific object type. So you can choose from various ones. If you go down here to create new object, the default is usually set to note, but you can change the different types. So in this case, it's not showing up here. If you go to the Anytype library, there's even more, or you can search here and let's see, habit pops up right here. So if we look at the habit object type, it has these different relations. Now, relations are essentially properties that describe your object. So you can think of them as tags, and they can really be much more specific than tags. So here you can see that this one actually says mood is a tag type, but the rest of these are just text. So you can enter freehand whatever you want to put in these boxes. And up here, you can see that it says this type has 2 templates. Templates just mean that it's a pre-formatted page that you're using. And there is a blank one. So to make a default, you would select this, or you can edit this current template. And you can also make new templates. It's not showing in this view though. So let me actually go back to the set and we'll talk about the views. So right now this says all, but let's take a look at what it actually is. So over here on settings on the right, the name of this view is called all, and it's actually a grid layout. Now there's a few different layouts here. Grid is just a table or a spreadsheet. Gallery is a card view. List is just what it says, a list. Kanban is typically used for progress of a project. So they usually have 3 columns that say to do, in progress, and completed, but you can actually use it for grouping different things however you want. And then there's also a calendar view, which will show right now just a monthly view. So let's go back. It was originally a grid view. Okay. And this is a new entry that we can edit. So this first one said day 1. Let's just edit this. And just so you know, right now, when you click on something from this grid view, it's going to pop up in this center pop-up. If you click here, it will open up in full screen view. You can also get rid of this side menu here. This is called the widget menu. You can toggle the sidebar here if you don't want it, and it will eventually disappear. But I do like the widgets. Okay, so this is the title. If you want to edit it, we can put day 2. And then here, these things were pre-filled out as part of what I was talking about earlier, template. So you can enter your text, or you can enter using emojis, which is what was on the table. So you put good, energy am, low, medium, low, mood, peaceful. Okay, so this one, you can see that these were all text, but this one is different because it actually gives me an option. This one's called tag, so you can have more than one if you want. So you can also put angry, you can put sad, you can have multiple options. And if you don't want those, you can just press X. And if you want to change the colors, let's say if you want sad to be blue, you just click the 3 dots here, which will give you the color menu. If you want to change the one that is selected here, you will have to press the X to get it into here, because then you can get the 3 dots and you can change it to like yellow if you want. Okay, so let's put that back. And then notes, this one is just, again, free text. So now that we've filled that out, let's go back to our grid view, and you can see, okay, I put in text, but there was originally emojis here. But okay, so once you start filling this out every day, you can look in your grid view to see patterns and kind of figure out how you're doing, what your progress has been. We can also put in some different views like we were looking at earlier. So let's create a new view, and let's, if you like the card view, this is kind of nice if you want it to be more visual instead of just a table. And one thing I didn't look at was this completed button. So let me go back. Completed, this one is a checkbox relation type. So it just means you can check it or uncheck it. And let's go back to this gallery view. So if we completed day 2, you can check that box. All right, so what else can I show you? Oh, we can look at a calendar view. Let's make another view. And let's call this one calendar. So if you select a view, the default name is calendar, but you can actually edit it. Sorry, not there, here. You can edit it here to change the name. And right now it shows day 2 on, today I'm recording on January 5th. Let's go back to this, sorry, settings, layout, and then group by. So this day can change. Let's actually put a relation called date. Okay, let's go back here. So let's add a relation and call it, well, they have some default ones. Let's just use due date. So this was January 4th. Let's do this one January 5th. Okay, so let's now go to calendar view. Now, right now, they both show on today, but I know we put separate due dates on those. So if you go to settings, go to layout, and then this option here called group by, you can change it, and let's change it to due date. And there you go. So now it actually goes on the correct day that I had a due date on it. The one thing that's missing right now is you can't actually click in this square to make a new entry. You still have to use this new button. And when you use the new button, let's go back here, it will pop up on your current day. So that's why I ended up putting the due date so that it doesn't show up right here. Let me show you how to do that. You can add the due date here as a, let's put due date. Okay, and so that's today. And let's see. Okay, so I actually want to make this one for tomorrow. And okay, so now it correctly shows as tomorrow and correctly shows as tomorrow. And then let's take a look at our graph view. So down here at the bottom, the one that looks like a little bunch of dots, we can see that My set is called the Habit Tracker, and if you create new entries from the template, then they'll all be interconnected. And you can also kind of see in the flow options, links to objects, they all link to this habit tracker. And that's how you use it. So I think it's pretty good. You can edit this to whatever you're tracking right now. I think I'm actually gonna change it into tracking how much water I drink every day. That's one of my goals for January.